how to build a product review or ratings for your e-commerce application. For example, if we navigate to this product here on this e-commerce website or application, if you see that here we display a number of the ratings that have been done by the previous customers and the number even here and the stars. And at the bottom here we display a list of the previous customer feedback and with their stars. So this will help other customers that are visiting your website to encourage them to buy this product based on the previous customer feedback. So how to integrate this review and rating system into your e-commerce application. Before showing you how to do that, I'm going to give you a quick demo and different user cases for this review system. For example, if you see that already we didn't log in, but we'll be able to still see this review if we visit this product, but we'll not be able to add any review because we didn't log in. But if we try to go for one of these different product here, let's just go to this one. We don't have any review now for this product. As you see, rating is 0 and there is no any star. But if you try to go to log in, as for example, I have 3 different users. If you come here to this admin side, I can see list of the user I have 3 users that has account. So if we try to log in as a tester account, first one, logged in, and let's try visit this product here. Let's add our first review here. For example, the review will be here at the bottom. We'll give you this option where you can add the reviews, and then here to add your review description, for example, not bad. Then press submit. So if you see that, automatically will hide the review section because you added a review, and will update the review description at the bottom with your review, and then we'll update the stars here, the rating star here by the number of the star you added, and the number of the review is only 1. And so now let's try sign out and log in with a different user account. Let's try log in as Ali and go to the same product. Let me close this here, and then Ali will see the previous customer review. That was 1 review and 3 stars. And Ali, for example, like this product, just added good. It is good. And then added 4 stars and then submit. I will hide the add review section and will show you the review description at the bottom here, and automatically also will update the star. As you see that previously was only 3 stars and now 3.5, and that automatically will get the average of the star and the number of the review or ratings. And same if you try to log out and try login as John, for example, and then go to the same product, and John can see the previous ratings and reviews, so and will be able to add a rating for this product. Don't like this one, for example, just add it, great, and then submit. So that now John review and feedback, and now the stars being updated to be 4 stars instead of 3.5, and also displays the number of ratings. That dynamically it will update the data, and this data will go to your account admin on the backend, so where you can see this all reviews. If I go to reviews, you can see all this data here. So this full stack review system. So, and as I mentioned, so will not allow you to add a review more than once if you added already to this product, but if I visit a different product, we'll be able to add a new review. So this is how to use this review system, and next step we are going to show you how to build it and integrate it into your e-commerce application. Hello everyone, welcome to Dwayne Tech channel. Today, as you saw on the demo, I'm going to help you how to build a review or rating system and integrate it into your e-commerce application. And if you didn't subscribe until now, try go and subscribe and like the content and share the content with your friends, so to support the channel continue uploading more tutorials. And also I would recommend, if you didn't watch the previous tutorial, try to go back, watch the previous one, and then try follow us here so you can understand fully what we're talking about today. So this is going to be continue as a list of series to build this e-commerce application. And we'll leave the full playlist for this e-commerce application down of this tutorial, so you can go back and try to watch the previous tutorials. And today just let's start showing you how to build this review system. And you need to navigate to your code where you have your code. So I run this application locally, the server and the client. And then you need to go to client. You need to install this package for React Simple Star Rating. We are going to use this library to display or to render the stars. And then just hit that. After you hit this, just leave it there, it will finish. We need to go to the client. Let's just collapse server for now. Inside client, go to components. Let's create a component called product review. There is a folder, then index file inside index.js. Then inside, let's create any simple component here and call it product review. Save. And this product review, we need to display it if we go to the browser. For example, when we visit this product here, we need to display that at the bottom here after this product. So this is called a product details page, which is going to be a product view here. So we need to display that component at the bottom of this file. So just after this row closing tag, let's add product review, and then hit enter. Automatically will import the component for you on the top. So that is imported here. We save it, go to the browser, and now we see that product review text here. So that's the component is rendering in correct position. So next, let's try go to product review and let's update this component. So inside this component here, as the beginning phase, we need to initiate these 4 states. So first state for the reviews, list of reviews that we'll get from the API. And next one is to update the review. So this will be a Boolean. When there is a new review added, we'll just re-trigger the API to get the latest one. And is review added also is additional Boolean. And review, this is a single review that added by the customer. So we need to import this use state from React. So instead of returning this empty div, I'm going to return this div with this class called product review. We are going to add later some CSS using this class. To add the review section where we're adding the form and the input and the button submit, this is the code. I'm going to just explain it line by line. So first we need to check if there is no review added by this customer. So if there is a review added or there is no token, for example, if this customer is not logged in or doesn't have account, then try just return null. Otherwise, try to render this section where you have just a div wrapper and you have a title inside with h2 tag. Then this form component, which you imported just from React Strap, this here. And same this form group, let's import from React Strap. Label. Ratings, a star where you can select the rating stars. So we don't have this function, we are going to create it. For now, just let's have empty function for it. And this token basically will pass it as a props to this component. We'll expect it to be a props. And then you need to import this input also from React Strap. So this handle review text will be just same as this handle rating. Let's duplicate that one. For now, just leave it empty function. Next, we need to import this button from React Strap. And handle submit is going to be an additional function here too. For now, just leave a placeholder for the function, and I'm going to explain it later. So we need to import this rating from React Simple Star Rating, which we just can import it here. So that import it at the top. And so again, basically this is just a div wrapping all this content. Inside here we have a condition. If the user added a review or this user didn't log in, then try render nothing. If didn't for example add the review and logged in, then try to display this section where you have a title to add a review. And then you have a form. This form has this rating star where you can select the stars. And at the bottom here, you have this input text area, and you have the submit button at the end. So if you go back to the browser, so now we will not be seeing anything here. Let's see why, because token, we don't have a token. Let's go to product review. Let's pass this token inside from product view here. Just add the props here. which is a token. We don't have this token available in this component. Let's pass it down again. So this product review, we can pass it from app here. Go to product review. We have here product view, not product review. Let's add that here as additional props, which is going to be JWT. So this one here we have, this is the token we need. So now if we save this and try go back to product review, so now we have this token. If we go back to the browser, boom, so we see that's the component displaying at the bottom, where we have the rating stars, where you can add a description and the submit button. So next, before we start building these functions here, let's try also adding additional section. If you remember that after this one, after you adding this review, should display a list of the review at the bottom of this section after adding that review. So how we to do that? First here, after this condition here in the same product review component, let's add additional condition here. So let me just format that. We need to check first if there is a list of reviews, then try to display them. We'll go first to add this wrapper div with the class name called reviews. And if there is no reviews, then try render nothing and render just null. Otherwise, render the review content where you have the div wrapper and the title h2 heading 2, which is going to be just customer reviews. And inside here, we'll map over this list of reviews or this array of reviews. Each array will include a text, stars, username, and created as date. So then inside here we'll have this section where display a review, a custom review, which has a class name called review, then an additional div here where to display the customer ratings icons, this one here, and then we'll have this class name to add some CSS later, and also to display the username, and this one is not going to be the rating, this is going to be the user icon or the person icon for next step. Basically, after building a user profile, then we'll display the user image instead of this icon. So we'll use this icon just now as a placeholder, and I forgot actually we need to install this icon too. Let's try see. I think we get it from React icons. We have it already, React icons installed in previous tutorial. We don't need to install this one anymore. We need to import it as a top here. Let's just import it here. So on previous tutorial we installed this package already. We don't need to install it anymore. So after displaying the customer name and icons, so next one is going to be the rating, and the value of this rating is going to be that is coming from this reviews array. So it's going to be just this single reviews here, which is stars, the number of the stars. And this size is going to be the size for the rating stars, so it's 24 that's currently used, and this is going to be read only. It will not allow you to edit these stars. Next is going to be the description for the review date, so just adding this review add text, and then inside here I'm going to convert the date string to be a local date string format, and after at the end I'm going to just display the review text or the review description. So after saving this, I need to get these reviews, so which we have it already here as a local state. So if we start here with the first function, this handle ratings, so this is going to be very simple function just to update the review so that the customer has been entered locally. So this is going to be a prompts passed down to here. So this function, we call it inside this rating here, is when you try to press any one of these, this will update that local state with new stars that you added. Next is this handle text. Same, this is going to be very simple to just like the similar to this rating handle rating. So instead of updating stars, I'm going to update the text, and this value is going to be received inside the event passed to this function. This event will have a target, and the target will have a value. Then inside this handle submit, we need first to check if there is no text being entered by the customer or there is no any stars, then try to display a toss notification error just to tell the customer this both field are required, so the review and star so are required. So we need to import this toast component from Reactjs and Strapi. We have it already installed previously. So basically, if you go try again now, try not to add the description, try to press submit, just showing this error. Both review, stars and text are required. So next, after this condition, we need to add this. If review text and stars has been added, then we need to make this Axios API call. Let me just add this code here. So I'm going to explain line by line. Before make that call, we need to check first, and I need to add this condition. If the text is exist and star exist and product ID, need to pass this as a props to this component. And product ID are exist, then try make a call to Axios using post method using this endpoint. I'm going to use 1338 port, and then we'll pass down just the review that's added by the customer and additional to product ID. I'm going to build an endpoint for reviews, and this requires this product ID and the text and also the stars. And we need to pass the header, so this should be only for authorized users, the user that has account. At the end here, I'm going to call this set update review to true, which will trigger this to update this state to be true. I'm going to use this just in a few seconds, tell you what's the point from this state. And if you go back, so this after you're adding your review successfully, then we are using here try catch for this request. If there is any error, will be catch as inside this error catch, and we'll fire this toast notification just to say there is an error occurs. Otherwise, if you don't have this one of these, for example, review text or a star, or you don't have this product ID, will just show this error here. There is an error occurred as well. So this, because it's a synchronous call, we need to pass this here async. We need to wait to this API to be finished first. Just adding this await. We need to wait for this request to finish. Then after this successfully, we need to update the state to be true. So this for handle submit. And inside, before this handle submit, let's add a use effect. So I'm going to just remove everything here. First, let's import this use effect with use state here. And then inside here, I'm going to create this function, just call it get reviews. This function is going to make a call to API, so we need to pass this async, and inside we are going to use try catch. And we need to call this function at the end of this function here, just basically. And if there is any error, just try to console log that error. And inside try here, I'm going to make a call to Axios. Let me just save this formatted. So Axios will return basically a result or response, and this response will be object. This object will be including data, and this data will have additional data inside it. So, and also will include this property called has review added. We are going to add this on the API. I'm going to show it later. So and we need to, because this will get this review in two scenarios: if the customer has logged in or the customer doesn't have account. So we need to make a condition for this authorization, and that we need to do it just before this line, just before here inside the try. I created this variable for the header config, and we'll check if there is a token, which means the user is logged in, then try to send this header authorization, otherwise send empty header. So this will allow both customer to see the review on your application. So next here, after getting this review successfully, we're getting the data for this list of reviews. We need to call these states. So first we need to set the reviews with the review data that we get. We need to reverse the data so to display the latest review on the top, and we need to set this has review added to be the new value. We get it here. So we'll get this from the API to display the add review section to a customer or hiding it. So for example, so still we have error C. If you see this section here, based on that condition, we can display this section or display it or hiding it. So if the customer already added a review, then try hide it based on this value. Then next we'll update this set update review to false. So basically this boolean here, update reviews, we pass it inside the dependencies. Whenever this is true, we'll retrigger this use effect again, we'll get the latest review, then you can display them. For example, if a customer added a review here and then press submit, after that's successfully finished, then this will be updated to true. Automatically we'll call get reviews, so you can see the latest review without reloading the page. And then next, last one here, or the before last one, function will be passed as a props to this review or product review, and this is coming from this product review page here. Before that, we need to initiate and use product review custom hook, and I'm going all first before actually to do this lesson. I'm going to show you why we need this. So after you add a review here and submit successfully, getting the list of review to display them here, which is related to product review component, but we need to update this component here to display the new stars that added by the customer. How to do this is different component, which is product view. So we need to get another state to tell this component the product review has been updated. So to do that, we need to come here to this use product view. We need to add a new state here, just after this product ID. It adds this state, and this state basically just for initially is called get product update, get latest. It's called get latest product update, and set get latest product update. Initially it's false, and we needed to pass it here down to this use effect. This use effect will get the latest product details. So to call this function fetch categories, which it will get the latest data. And to do that, basically we can update the dependencies by adding this boolean. When this boolean is true, we'll retrigger this use effect and call it again. So we'll get the latest products, which is the one that we just view here, this one. We save it. Before save it, we need to pass this down so we can access it in second component. So now we pass it at the bottom of this use hook, and this use hook is being imported inside use product view. We need to import that state functions, so we need to pass it down here again to this product review, where we can access it as a props. So now if we go to product review, we can access it as a props at the top here. And now we will be able to update it to true, and whenever this is true, as I mentioned, we'll call again, it will update this here state to true, and this state is true. It will get the latest product details. After getting latest product details, just it will display that on this here on the stars. We don't display that yet, but we are going to add it after this step. So to display that stars here, we need to go back again to product view page here. It's after car text. This here, this one. Let's add this content here. I'm going to explain. This is just a div wrapping this, and with a class name called rating. I'm going to add later CSS just to customize this content here. And we need to import this rating component. So this is to display list of a star. Let's just import it here. Which we imported from React simple star rating, and then this will by default, so to allow to display half of the star or a quarter of that star, so you need to pass this boolean, and this is going to be read only, will not allow you to update. So the one that it will be displayed here will not be able to update that manually. And size is going to be just 24. The initial value is going to be rating stars. I'm going to pass this state from this use product review custom hook. I'm going to add this state just after this step. So now that's it. So we then next here we have this span. Inside this span we display the numbers of the stars. Make a condition first. If the count of this star greater than 1, we need to display the count, and then it's going to be stars because it's regular, and if it is more it's less than 1, then it's going to be just displaying that it's going to be 0, or which is going to be 0. Actually you can add here 0 or rating.count, doesn't matter, and instead of stars it's going to be just instead of ratings it's going to be just rating. So after saving this, let's go and try initiate this rating state inside this custom hook. So just before this line, let's add this a new state. initially we'll have this object which includes a star. The stars will be null, count is going to be 0. We need to pass this two state down to, or return them at the end of this file. So just here, let me add that and add a comma. Let me just modify that. So now we pass this down and we can access same inside this product view. So this rating here, and also we should access this function to allow us to update that rating state from product review component. We need to pass it down to product review as a props after this line. So now if you go to product review, you need to access this as a props rating stars. So here, after getting this list of review, we need to actually calculate the average of this review stars, and then update this function here to include the count and including the stars. So here, just before this set stars, let me add these variables. We'll initiate this variable. It's called average rating. It's going to use let. First, we'll go over this data. We'll get it back from the API using reduce method. We'll try get the total of these stars, and then at the end, just divide them by the number of the review. Then that will give us the average of these stars. Then I'm going to reassign this average again using number, so to convert if this is coming as a string, so sometimes the number will be converted to string, so we need to convert it back to be, just make sure it's a number. Then we'll check if this rating average rating greater than 0, then try to have it to fix to 1, for example 3.5 or 4.3, and otherwise if not less than, or it's not greater than 0, then try to just return it, which is going to be 0. At the end here, I'm going to update this set ratings to have this object, so which is going to be including stars, and the stars is going to be just this average average rating, and count is going to be the review length, basically the length of that review we get it from the API. So this one here. If we save this, now if we go to the page, we see the stars that display on the product view content here, and the number of rating is 0, and we see the section here where we can add a review. And before to build the API endpoint, let's also to add the CSS for this two changes here. So if you go back to the code here, go to index.css, and just after 140 lines, so let me add this CSS for product details. I'm going to add for the card, so for the span we added to display the icons, and there's the one to display ratings, so to add just simple CSS margin and some flex to align the content vertically. And at the end here, we need to add just the product review CSS. This is the beginning of the CSS content. This is the end. It's very simple CSS, just margin and aligning some content and adding some colors here. So now if you go to this browser, that now is vertically aligned correctly, and here this content displayed also correctly. So CSS is fine now. Next step, we need to go and try update the API. So if you go to open the API locally, so it's the server that's running here on this endpoint. So let's log in, close, go to content type builder. Let's create a new collection, call it review, and then continue. So first we are going to have a text type. So this is where we add the description. Is going to be long text, and this is required. Let's mark it as all. Actually field is going to be required. Next one is going to be a product ID. It's going to be just integer, a number, product ID, and this is going to be very long integer. Is also is required. Next is going to be email. So this is a customer email, so we can differentiate between customer reviews. So, and this is going to be also required, and we need also to add the stars. This is going to be also number, stars, and big integer, also this is required. Last one is going to be just username, and this is going to be short text and it's required as well, and then finish. So save them, log in. Let's try log in back again, and then we need to go to settings, go rules. We need to allow both authenticated and public user to access these reviews. So we need to select a find and find one and save. This for authorized. Let's go and do same for public. Review find and find one, save. And now we need to go back. We need to go back to the code. So we need to modify the server endpoint. Let's try collapse client. Let's go server. So we'll create this API, review API endpoint. Go to controllers, go to review.js, and then here we need to update this endpoint. So inside here, let's add a comma. We're going to expect this. So we'll add additional callback here, which will kind of access Strapi inside here as a prompt. First, we need to modify the find endpoint, which this is going to be get method. So this first you need to add this async find, then we'll expect a context. Then from this context we can access this original URL, which is where it's coming from, and then we can access this product ID from the endpoint we pass. If you go back, for example, I'm going to show you first on the client on product review here, where we pass this product ID as a query. So we need to get this query from this URL, and that will be passed to the header, which is this original URL. Then I'm going to create this function to just filter that query back and give us the product ID. I just created this function here to do that. Basically, this function will expect the key name that we need, and this is a search, which is the text as a full URL we need to get the value from. At the end, we'll just pass the query value we need. So this is a function that we call it here. We pass first the key we need. It should going to be product ID, and we'll pass the URL that should filter this product ID value from. And at the end, we return this product ID, and then also we can access this email inside this context state.user if the user is logged in. If not logged in, then we'll just try to fall back to empty object, so we will not break our application, and that scenario will just return undefined. If the user logged in, will return us the correct email. And then we'll update the review endpoint by using this Strapi query, strapi.db.query, this API review, then find many where product ID is equal to this product ID we have here. Then at the end here, we'll need to return the data that we get back from the API. Then we need to add back another props or a property is going to be has review added, and this I'm going to find on this list of data to filter if there is any review using this email inside this data, then set this to be true, and this to find out where if this customer added previously any review to this product or no. So if there is no any review added using this email, so it will be false in that. So just setting this to false. If there is any review exists, it will set this to true. At the end, just basically return this object including data and including has review added. And if there is any error, we'll catch the error at the end here, and then we'll update the response status to 500. Next, we need to update the post endpoint, which is going to be create after this comma here, async create, and then we'll expect a context. Inside this scope here, then we'll access the email and the username from this context state user. This only when you post, and we'll allow only to post if you logged in, so that we don't need to make a condition if the user not exists. And we'll make a try catch at the end here. We'll catch the error. If there is error, we'll update the response status to 500 and return the error itself. Inside the try, then make a request to this endpoint using a Strapi service, and then update using this create method. This updates the data. will pass all their body data, spread that here, and then pass with them the email, and the username will access them from here and from this user state. And the int just returns the response itself. That's it for this endpoint. That's all what we need to do for the review endpoint. So now let's go back and try test this. Basically, if we go to the browser, try reload, just let's make sure everything is good. Now we logged in as John. Let's try add 4 stars. Looks good for me, and press submit, and there's an error. Let's open the inspect and try to see the error. What is it? There is error is being console log here is unauthorized. Okay, let's go back again, try to actually log in, try make sure is will allow all users to access this review. So because Sims is updated, authorized, and go to review. Oh, we need to add create because we didn't add create. So this should be also be able to create. So now if you try it again, and let's try to reload the browser, try add a new review, let's try submit, say nothing, and this one seems not really triggered. Let's try go back to product review. Let's see the create endpoint, what is missing. Let's update these dependencies here. Is this not getting all the data? Product ID, this here seems the review text star product ID are not exist, so that's why we see that error. So let's see what is missing. Review product ID, and let's try again. Yeah, if you try open this, if you see the product ID undefined, so that's what is missing. Let's try see where that product ID is coming from. Product ID, we didn't pass it down to this review. Let's go to product view here where we should pass that props here. So this is going to be just ID, which is this ID coming from product coming here. Let's add it here. Seems the addition the next error that about get list of this product here. If you go again here, list of reviews, this endpoint here, yeah, this is 1338. If we save it, and boom, that we get the view, that it gets the result, and that's displaying this. Boom, that is working now. If you try to just log out and try log in with John now, then log in as a John, try go to this product. So let me close this and open this, so we'll be able to add this. Great. And submit. Boom, that is hiding it, hiding this section, shows the stars, displaying the correct value here. So that's it, how to add a review and rating system to your e-commerce application. If you like the content, try to press thumb up, share the content with your friends, so to support us continue adding new tutorials. And if you didn't subscribe, try subscribe to get all new video and tutorials. Thank you for watching, and see you in very next tutorial.